this edition of High School Rewind, available on the High School Rewind YouTube channel and highschoolrewind.com. We have traveled to American Fork High School, home of the Cavemen, as they welcome in their crosstown rival, the Pleasant Grove Vikings, here in Region 4 action. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Dane Stewart here to bring you tonight's game. What a game we have for you come up here tonight from Region 4. The visiting Pleasant Grove Vikings. This is a team that was not on many preseason radars, but they've had a whale of a season. Got off to a great start in non-region play, and in region they've been good as well. 6-3 in region play. Right now sitting in third place. Nothing finalized here in this region. So tonight's game very big for Pleasant Grove if they want to make the state tournament, which is coming up here just right around the corner. They are led by one Brody Childs. We're going to call his name a lot tonight. He leads the team in every major statistical category: points, rebounds, assists, and steals. Brody Childs is a man among boys. And then Matt McCarty, a nice complementary player to Childs. You have kids like Kuhn that can really chip in as well offensively. And then Wellman running the point. This is a complete Pleasant Grove team. A lot of balance there for Coach McAllister this year for his Vikings. Has been one of the reasons why they've been so good in Region 4 play. As we switch sides and talk about the other bench now, the American Fork Cavemen come in 7-3 in region play with just 2 contests remaining. One here tonight and one coming up down the road against the Lehigh Pioneers. But make no mistake, they have this game circled. It is a rivalry game, and it is the last time that one Brendan Bailey will be going up against the Pleasant Grove Vikings. Bailey, the future Marquette Golden Eagle. What a fantastic senior season he has had, a top 100 player in the country. This is a kid that's been on big-time recruiting stage for a number of years now, but he's really come on in his senior season. Had 16-7 in the first matchup between these two squads, a game in which the Cavemen won, but he's coming off a 40-point performance in a win against Harriman. Brendan Bailey has really come alive this senior season. Marquette is getting a good one. Then you factor in a guy like Spencer Johnson, who also is a very good player. Bailey averages 20 points per game. Johnson averages 18 points per game. Johnson heading up to Weber. This is a great 1-2 duo down here in Region 4. Have been leading the way for the Cavemen this season. They look to lead the way here tonight on their home floor against their rival, the Pleasant Grove Vikings. We've told you a little bit about both teams. Studs on both sides. Tip-off coming up next here on High School Rewind. Ready to tip here from American Fork. The Cavemen in their home white and the Vikings in the road blue and black. It's Bailey tipping against McCarty, and Bailey wins at the center circle. It's American Fork basketball. This is Condi with it on the far side. PG in a zone defense here to start things off. Up top with Brimhall being guarded heavily. Bailey, future Golden Eagle. We talked about him in our open. Spencer Johnson, great find through the double team, able to set up George Brimhall for the first American Fork bucket of the night. Spencer Johnson, we mentioned his scoring prowess, but he leads the team in all other categories: rebounds, assists, and steals. Spencer Johnson having a great senior campaign in the corner now with Kuhn dribbling it out in the key. And there's defense by Johnson. Nearly was able to create the dual possession situation. Great crossover put on by Wellman. Then pulled up with a three-pointer on the way from Kuhn. No good. Skying for the rebound. How about that save on the play, as it was Childs again going to the wood to keep the possession. Brody Childs active here early on. He has it now. Off the double team, back over to Wellman, looking to drive baseline in the corner. Three-pointer, count it good for David Peterson. The junior with the corner three, and the Vikings up early 3-2. Johnson swung around in the corner to Whitehead. Now he picked up his dribble, looking for somewhere to go with the ball. Able to get it to Condi. Skip pass to Bailey. Baseline, pull up, left it short, and that ball out of bounds off of American Fork. It'll go to Pleasant Grove. Kuhn with it. Johnson comes out to defend him, back to Wellman. Screen set there by McCarty, rolling off. Nice job by Condi, able to defend that roll. McCarty trying to post Bailey, not having much luck. Bailey playing tough down low. And then they're going to call a foul on Bailey on that one as McCarty hit the floor. It will be the first personal on Brendan Bailey. Peterson. Boy, Bailey, like a shark in the water, sniffing that one out. Wellman. Tough shot for Wellman. Just gets it over the front of the rim, and Braden Wellman in the books tonight. Good find underneath. Spencer Johnson cutting without the basketball. Brimhall able to get it to him baseline. Nice lay-in for the 6'5 senior. Kuhn. Great D by Johnson. Didn't give him any lane to drive. And he does the same thing to Peterson, though he'll pick up the personal here. First foul on Johnson. Kuhn with it. Excuse me, it's Peterson. Now Kuhn has it. So he'll give it to Wellman. Wellman looking for somewhere to go. Great crossover, but Condi stuck with it and then turned it over. Numbers for the Cavemen the other way. Leading it is Whitehead. Bailey with the uncontested three. Rimmed out on Bailey. Childs able to tap it up into the awaiting hands of Keegan Kuhn as Wellman pushes it up the floor now for Pleasant Grove. Top of the key. Wellman back to Kuhn. Picked up his dribble. Now looking for somewhere to go. He'll find Peterson as Pleasant Grove. Showing patience here. Good pass to McCarty. Kick out. Three-pointer on the way for Kuhn. Wouldn't go down for the 6'4 senior. Back the other way quickly with the Cavemen. Whitehead along that baseline, dribbles it out. As now American Fork will look to reset things. 3:35 left here in the opening quarter. 5-4 Vikings out in front. Near side with Whitehead now up top. Whitehead's going to try the three-pointer, front of the iron, and it's Childs with the rebound for Pleasant Grove. Wellman looking to attack. Kicked out to Childs. Dribble it off the foot of Bailey. Now Johnson's going to try to push it. Weaving through traffic, and Spencer Johnson laying it up and in as he nets his fourth point of the night. The defense for American Fork has been good here early on. Have forced a couple of turnovers. That time leading to points. Johnson again able to break up the pass, and a foul going to be called here on Braden Wellman, his first personal. Leatham and Doman check in for Pleasant Grove. Meanwhile, Benji Judd makes his first appearance of the ball game for the Cavemen. He has it now. Bailey in the corner as Jake Doman was all over him. Bailey was posting up right at the elbow. Couldn't get him the ball. Johnson now with it. Bailey with the pump fake, a step inside the arc, again left that one short, and Brendan Bailey has taken 3 shots. He's missed them all, and all of them have been just off the front of that rim as Wellman dribbles back out for PG offensively. Approaching 2 minutes remaining here in our opening quarter. Wellman looking to drive. Judd able to close it off well. Kicked out to Doman. Now Doman trying to drive. Little hesitation. This is Jake Doman. Gets it up and good for Pleasant Grove as they retake the lead. Johnson was trying to make a baseline cut. Judd thought about it. Instead, gave it off to Jake Whitehead. Johnson with it here. Going to drive. Now Bailey. Talked about the Cavemen's defense. This zone defense for PG has been stout from the perimeter. Is Johnson now with a tough fadeaway. No good. Bailey with the rebound. Goes up. That shot hard, but Johnson there with the putback. And Spencer Johnson having a great first quarter. 6 of the 8 American Fork points coming from the 6'5 senior guard, Spencer Johnson. Wellman now near side. And Childs was left alone. The one-hander couldn't get to fall. Bailey with the rebound. Johnson, no one picks him up, gives off to Whitehead. Now kick out to Judd for three. Good for Benji Judd. A big three-pointer, the first made three-pointer of the ball game for the Cavemen. As the lead up to 4. And now PG looking to hold for potentially the last shot of this first quarter. Been a quick 5-0 run for the Cavemen. Buckets by Johnson and Judd. This clock now down to 12 seconds left. Time to get in the offense for Wellman. Over to Lethem, back to Wellman, clock down to 5. Doman, skip pass, and it's broken up by Whitehead with 1.4 left. Substitutions by both sides for this final play of the first quarter. It's inbounded to Lethem for 3. No good. First quarter's come to a close. The Cavemen off to a strong start at home. They lead 11-7 over Pleasant Grove. Pleasant Grove basketball to start the second quarter. Trailing here by 4 is Casey Brown, the freshman with the ball. Great pass. And finishing the play. That time was Doman. As the freshman able to find him. Doman with 4 points here in the early going. Brown, a good-looking player. Again, just a freshman, 5'11", number 3 in the blue. No one picks up Whitehead right at the free throw line. That one is pretty easy. For a guy who shoots 66% from there when uncontested, that time uncontested and nailed it. Brown being guarded defensively. Boy, stingy D again. That time by Hucks. McCarty. Great job getting Matt McCarty the ball. And one of the X factors for these Vikings, we mentioned second on the team in scoring, but when he has good games, they are tough to beat. Judd kick out. Johnson with the drive. Handed it back off. Hucks with it. Now Johnson. Bailey going to check in at the next whistle. So Spencer Johnson, the go-to guy right now for the Cavemen. As Judd will initiate the dribble. There's the pass over to him, and an offensive foul called away from the ball. The screen set by Hucks, saying he never got there. It's his first personal. Bailey just checked in for American Fork, as did Childs and Wellman for the Vikings. 13-11, Cavemen out in front. Wellman with the drive, contested shot. Affected him as he picks up his second personal right there with a cheapo. That was the second team foul on the Vikings. Only 3 team fouls on the Cavemen up to this point as we approach 6 minutes left here in the opening half. Judd with it in the corner. Over to Whitehead. Boy, nice step through that zone defense, though. Missed the shot, batted up, and again, it is Brimhall who won't give up. He gets fouled as he will now head to the line. No, it'll be underneath. Caveman basketball. Foul was called on Brown, his first personal. As now Hucks going to try the three-pointer. Good for Dallin Hucks. His first bucket of the night. The lead up to 5. Brown hands off. There's Childs. Good ball movement. Allows the open three-pointer by Kuhn, though he couldn't hit it. Being fought for and saved by American Fork and then thrown up to Bailey, but he was running the floor, wasn't looking for the pass. They turn it right back to Pleasant Grove. Kuhn hands off. Wellman. Dribble in the corner. Nice find, able to get it to Lethem, though he nearly lost it on the mishandle. Now Wellman will dribble it back out, looking for some help from Childs. Screen set, Wellman around it, gets the switch. Childs now for 3. Good for Brody Childs. And his first made field goal of the night. Johnson, nice job going up and getting that one from Judd, who gets it right back. Underneath, blocked away by Childs. As Brimhall thought he had the open shot and then it's turned right back over, poked away by the Cavemen. Johnson looking to go to work. Front of the iron, batted out of bounds by Bailey. It'll go back to Pleasant Grove. Jordan Grunwald is checked in for Pleasant Grove. 6'4" junior for Coach McAllister. This PG could tie things up or take the lead here. Been trailing for a majority of this first half. Had a lead for a little bit, but it's been all Cavemen for the last 6 minutes or so as Bailey able to create the turnover. How about that? Brendan Bailey in the books with his first bucket as he takes that one coast to coast, creating the steal and then finishing at the rim. Childs going to try for another three. Good again! As Brody Childs with a pair of made three-pointers has pulled the Vikings to within one, 18-17, as we have passed the midway point here in this second quarter. Over to Johnson. Bailey cutting through. Has it pull up. Boy, tough shot by Brendan Bailey. As Childs was right in his face. Timeout going to be taken here, as we've got a 20-17 lead for American Fork. Again, we see PG with the handing off, trying to get some switch on the matchups as Wellman will come back near midcourt to reset the offense here for Coach McAllister. Inside of 3 minutes remaining. Been a pretty clean first half, quick first half. Wellman with a skip pass to Leatham. Johnson able to close out on him quickly. And then that ball thrown in between a couple Vikings and turned over. Whitehead is checked back in for the Cavemen. Leading here by 3 is Judd to run the offense. There's Whitehead with it in the corner. Johnson now. Back to Whitehead. Thinking about the three was Condi. Instead, he'll pass over to Judd. Bailey with it again at the free throw line. Step back, pull up. No good. Judd scrapping for the board. It goes right into the hands of Johnson. Couldn't finish, but it's tipped up and good. They'll credit Bailey, though I'm not sure he's the one that touched it. But it was nearest. And the lead back to 5 for American Fork. Bailey with 6 points in the quarter. And the last 6 for American Fork. Here's Leatham. Over to Wellman. Now Childs for 3 again. Rimmed out on him. Numbers for American Fork. Bailey, someone got to stop the ball. They don't, and it goes in. 8 points by Brendan Bailey. The lead 24-17, the largest of the game in favor of the home squad. Coach McAllister needing something from his team. Has had a couple turnovers. The last few possessions have led to easy points for American Fork as Childs trying to be that guy inside to McCarty. That'll help. Great find from Childs, able to get McCarty with nearly a dunk. We'll call it a lay-in just for proper naming technique's sake. As we have 1 minute left here in our first half. Near side with Condi. Whitehead thought about it. Instead, we'll give off to Brendan Bailey. Now Condi. Content to slow things up here for American Fork. Bailey comes up to get it in the high post, extended beyond the arc right now. Looking to drive. Whitehead just cleared the lane as we've got a foul on the drive by Bailey. As he will head to the line, the foul called on Kuhn. It will be his first personal. Bailey good on both free throws as he heads to the bench to get a breather, and well-deserved. He's scored the last 10 points for American Fork as they now hold a 26-19 lead inside of 30 seconds left. Brown handling the rock here for PG. Boy, thought he could have finished. Instead, handed off to McCarty. Tough turnaround But nothing's too tough for Matt McCarty. 6 points in the ballgame for him now. As American Fork will get the last shot here, most likely. As the clock now down to 10 seconds left. Judd gonna hold it here. Clock inside of 5. Benji Judd looking for work. Blocked away by McCarty. And then a foul called here late on Rawson. It won't matter as the horn is sounded. We've got halftime. Yes, we do. 26-21. The Cavemen out in front midway through. Second half underway. Cavemen basketball holding a 5-point lead. It was Brendan Bailey leading the way in the first half. He had 10 points, all of them coming in that second quarter. In fact, he had the last 10 points of the quarter for the Cavemen. He has it now on that far side. Tough shot from Bailey, no good. Rebound by the Cavemen. That shot up and good as Bailey starts the second half much like he ended the first. Wellman now kick out to Kuhn. Over to Peterson. Peters had an early 3, but not much noise from him since as he misses that shot. Bailey with the board. Up the floor quickly to Brimhall. Missed the lay-in. A loose ball scooped up by Whitehead. Couldn't finish as McCarty pulls in the loose ball. We'll hand off. No one picks up McCarty, and then he is fouled hard as Brimhall refused to give up the easy bucket to McCarty. He'll head to the line to shoot 2. McCarty at the line. Made the first one, but he missed his second one as Whitehead pulls in the rebound. Bailey with it. Over to Whitehead. Childs defending him. Johnson thought about the pull-up. Now will from just a step inside the free throw line. Spencer Johnson able to connect. 8 points for him tonight. Wellman with a little turnaround fade, though wouldn't go down for the senior point guard as Bailey brings up the basketball for American Fork. Has Kuhn defending him. That's a tough matchup if you're Kuhn. No shot as they got it on the floor. Second personal on Keegan Kuhn. American Fork to inbound. Do so to Whitehead. He found some space. Gets his own rebound. Now Johnson finding space from about 12 feet, though he couldn't finish. Lobbed up to McCarty. Wellman able to find his big man, and McCarty with all 3 points here for the Vikings in the third quarter. Whitehead will hand off to Condi. Good job by Peterson denying that entry to Spencer Johnson as Bailey has it now. Boy, nearly turned over. Child's going to pick up the foul here. Stolen away by Kuhn, looking to finish on the other end. The hesitation, and he does. Keegan Kuhn with his first points tonight, averaging double figures scoring coming in. It's a big loss here in the early going for Pleasant Grove. They'd love to get some points out of him tonight as Condi tries the three-pointer. Can't finish. Loose ball that is able to be tracked down by Peterson as he will bring it up the floor now for the Vikings. Peterson attacking. McCarty, three-pointer from Kuhn is no good. Childs nearly had a monstrous putback. That would have been top 5, but couldn't finish it off. Bailey with the transition 3. No good as Wellman with the rebound for Pleasant Grove. Kuhn, baseline. Couldn't finish. Loose ball. Condi able to dribble out of the mass width. Up ahead to Johnson. And he gets fouled from behind. Spencer Johnson to the line to shoot 2. Johnson good on both free throws. It's 32-26 as now we have some pressure put on by American Fork. Wellman around the McCarty screen, now going to use it again. Pull up from 12. Wellman, good. His second made bucket tonight. He has 4. Whitehead, great job finding the driving lane, though it was blocked away. There's Spencer Johnson to put it back. And just as Bailey went on a scoring streak in the second, now Spencer Johnson on a streak of his own here in the third, 6 straight points. There's a foul called here on Brimhall, his second. Inside of 4 minutes left here in this third quarter. Far side, and Doman's going to take the 3. It no good as Benji Judd with the board. Nearly knocked away by Latham on the other end. Johnson now with the drive, and a foul called here on the floor against Pleasant Grove as it will be Doman picking up his first. Had a pretty clean first half. Right now the Vikings with 4 team fouls. We're not, just barely over midway through this third quarter. It's already more fouls than they had in that entire first half. Well, the same, 4. Judd now dribbling the far side, calling out the play. Boy, just a rifle of a pass over to Johnson. Bailey tracks it down with a 3-pointer rimmed out on him. And now Pleasant Grove, Childs up ahead. Look out! Brody Childs takes a ride on the SS Booyah, throwing down the dunk, and Pleasant Grove back to within 4. And now 4 different scorers for the Vikings here in this third quarter. That balance starting to have an effect for the Vikings. Bailey with it. Johnson, pull up from just inside the arc. No good. Loose ball that Childs is able to save. Wellman now pushing it up the floor quickly for Pleasant Grove. No one picks him up. Blocked away by Johnson. And now it'll be a 3 by Latham. No good off the back of the iron. Possession kept by McCarty. Childs, nice pump fake. He'll get it back. Pleasant Grove now playing with a little more tempo. Wellman again looking to attack. Defended by Brimhall. Get it out to Childs. And now they'll look to reset things here. 2 minutes left in the third. The lead down to 4 for the Cavemen. It's been between 4 and 7 since early on in that second quarter. Childs trying to post up Johnson. Good job by Johnson. That's how you defend the post. Just came and undercut it. Doman with it, back to Wellman. And Bailey defending him. Childs with the 3. Good for Brody Childs. 5 straight points for the senior. And Pleasant Grove back to within 1 as a timeout taken by Coach Meekum. Out of the timeout, Johnson. Tough baseline jumper, not for Spencer Johnson. As now he's up to 8 in the quarter and the last 8 for American Fork. Wellman attacking on the other end, shot it too hard. Bailey in traffic, tough shot as he gets fouled by McCarty. Brendan Bailey, 74% free throw shooter on the season, goes 2 of 2 at the line. The lead back to 5 for American Fork inside of 1 minute left here in the third quarter. Ball thrown over to Latham. He has yet to score here tonight. Childs now defended by Johnson. Coming over on the help D was Condi as Childs passes out to Wellman. Screen from McCarty. Kuhn nearly lost it. There's Childs to pick it up. Wellman for 3, uncontested, front of the iron, and Bailey there for the board. Pressure from behind, Latham nearly able to knock it away. Bailey able to retain the possession. As given a quick glance at the clock was Hucks. As American Fork will slow things up now. 15 seconds left here in the third. 5-point lead for the Cavemen. As tell you what, Latham just not afraid to body up some of these Cavemen, trying to really increase the pressure on the D. 5 seconds left, over to Condi. Corner 3-pointer from Hucks, no good. And the horn sounds. 38-33. The Cavemen get a late push to keep the lead at 5. Start of the fourth quarter. Viking basketball trailing here by 5. They've trailed since about midway in that first quarter. Johnson able to get another steal, and numbers for the Cavemen. Hucks to Bailey. That'll help ignite the crowd. The lead back to 7 as Brendan Bailey looked like the Mighty Ducks in trouble coming as Wellman able to respond quickly. It's like 4-on-1. That last dunk by Bailey. Goldberg stuck in net. Didn't know what to do. Johnson attacking the glass. Johnson and Bailey both with 16 points apiece. They have really taken over since the second quarter for the Cavemen. Pleasant Grove has not had an answer. Trying to find one here is a three-pointer by Kuhn, no good. And it's Hucks with the rebound for American Fork. Johnson was cutting to the hoop instead. He passes over to Judd, who's trying to attack. He gets fouled on the drive. Whitehead checks in for Judd, who went 1 of 2 at the line. 43-35 the lead for the Cavemen, up to 8. And the largest lead of the ball game. Three-pointer on the way from Brown, hit the front of the iron. Johnson had the board. He gets fouled, as it will be American Fork basketball. Excuse me, it'll be a 1-and-1 situation. 1-and-1 situation for Johnson. He makes them both. The 77% free throw shooter's been good at the line tonight. The lead now 10, 45-35, 6:40 left here in the game. Fancy ball work there by Brown as he passes over to Childs. They could use some Brody Childs as he's fouled on the floor. Second foul on Johnson, only the third team foul on the Cavemen. Some sarcastic cheers by the Pleasant Grove fans, nearly a foul there. No help from the officials. It'll end up with a Bailey three-pointer. His first made triple of the night. Brendan Bailey from long range. The lead is 13. The Cavemen off to a 10-2 run here to start the fourth. Late to start the clock. I thought they were going to reset things. Instead, just a loud buzzer for about 10 seconds, and now we get things going. Childs missed a three. Recovers, lobs it up, and McCarty couldn't finish. Kuhn inside and fouled on the floor before the shot. Inbounded to Kuhn, looking to drive, and I thought they were going to call an offensive. Instead, they will call it on Condi as officials now trying to even up the fouls. Inbounded to Childs quickly. Count the bucket, good, and the foul. He'll head to the line. Childs good at the line. He's up to 14. As that was the third foul called on Hucks. He remains on the floor. Condi dribbling right around this Pleasant Grove defense. Over to Whitehead, who lays it up and in. 50-38. The advantage for American Fork. In the corner, three-pointer just rimmed out on Leatham as we have a foul here going to be called on Brown. Whitehead misses the front end of it. Rebounded by Pleasant Grove. Again, trailing here by 12, 5.5 left. Drive by Leatham. Turnaround, no good. Tapped up by McCarty. Couldn't get it over the front of that rim, and Bailey able to collect the rebound. Johnson up the floor quickly to Condi. Finds Bailey. Good ball movement. He'll just pull up from 10. Couldn't hit the shot as Leatham has it for Pleasant Grove back the other way. Gives back to Brown. Boy, they had Childs open. Brown attacking as he will net his first points of the night. And a quick foul called on Brown as he was trying to get the steal on Hucks. Hucks to the line, a 90% free throw shooter to shoot 1-and-1. Hucks makes both free throws. The lead back to 12 as Judd will check in for him. Defending the ball right now. McCarty up to set the screen. Now Brown's going to try the three-pointer from straight away. Doesn't hit it, and that ball out of bounds at the PG bench. American Fork looking to inbound. They get it into Judd. It's PG extending that pressure. Spencer Johnson, pull up, baseline, back of the iron. Childs comes down with the rebound and picked up his dribble, needs some help, able to get it to Brown. Screen from McCarty, rolling. Able to find him, and McCarty up and good. And now double figures for Matt McCarty. He has 11. Judd trapped, able to get it over to Bailey. Press broken. Johnson now will dribble it out of that baseline. Midway through the fourth quarter, the lead is still 10. As Johnson has it, over to Judd. Bailey looking to post up Kuhn. Johnson with it. Condi's going to try the three. Rimmed out on him. How about Bailey coming in to keep the possession? And then Childs nearly knocked it away, though he'll get called for the foul here in his third personal. At the line, Johnson good on both. 20 points for Spencer Johnson tonight. He leads the way. Bailey has 19. Setting our open. It's a two-man show for the Cavemen. It's been that way tonight. Over to Childs. Now Peterson will dribble it out. Johnson going to get called for the foul here. Be his third. 1-1, and it rimmed out on Peterson. Judd able to find a lane and then had the ball. Don't know if it got poked away or if he just lost it going up. The Vikings on the break and blocked away. What a block. Coming back was Brimhall as that ball forcefully sent to the PG student section. Inbounded to Peterson. Kuhn. Nice job on the help defense by Johnson to close off that baseline drive. Three-pointer on the way from Kuhn is good. And a quick timeout taken by Coach McAllister as it's 54-45 with 2:50 left here. Pleasant Grove now in the full court pressure here. Trying to force a turnover if they can. Johnson able to get it up to Condi. Boy, great job by Johnson without the ball. A foul called here. Offensive on Spencer Johnson. He raises his hands like, what else am I supposed to do? As he just picked up his fourth. 2:30 left. The lead single digits. Brown trying to drive. Going up. Left it short. Tapped out to Kuhn's hands as he goes up and gets the favorable roll. Keegan Kuhn with 5 points here in the fourth. And a foul on the inbound going to be called on Peterson, his second. Judd checks into the game for American Fork as Johnson makes both free throws. He's hit 6 of them. From the charity stripe here in the fourth quarter, he has 22 points. Brown left to work by himself. Count the bucket, good. And the foul on Judd, his first, as Casey Brown trying to make an impact late. Brown at the line, the freshman, misses the free throw. That would have made it a 2-possession game. Inside of 2 minutes left. Judd pressure, just able to get rid of it. And then it's turned over. Leatham attacking the glass as he misses the shot, and Leatham will head to the line to shoot 2. Braxton Leatham at the line shooting 2. He makes them both. His first points of the night. 2 free throws. Here's the lead down to 5. 1:38 remaining. Johnson with it. Good free throw shooter. And a timeout taken here by Coach Meekum. American Fork to inbound off the timeout. They get it into Whitehead. Now Bailey will hand off to Johnson. And this is the guy, if you're Coach Meekum, you want handling the ball. Over to Bailey. Clock down to 1:20 left. Bailey trapped. And now attacking the glass, Brendan Bailey takes the possession on his shoulders and finishes at the rim, and that might just do it for the Cavemen here tonight as we're inside of 1 minute left. Attacking is Leatham as he lays it up and good. A timeout for Coach McAllister with 53 seconds left in a 58-53 Cavemen lead. Judd to inbound for American Fork, gets it into Johnson. Now Bailey, and numbers for American Fork. And a foul here. Block called on Childs as he protests that on the floor. Fourth personal on Brody Childs. Boy, I think that's a tough foul on Childs as Bailey at the line makes them both. 4 points for Bailey here in the last 20 seconds. It's the lead back to 7 for American Fork. Brown got to get the ball in the hoop right now. Taking too much time. Over to Kuhn. Dribbling through and blocked away. They're going to call the foul here on American Fork as Keegan Kuhn will head to the line to shoot a pair. Kuhn at the line makes them both. 60-55. The lead for American Fork, and PG continuing in that full court pressure. Inbounded to Bailey. And Benji Judd is fouled. He'll head to the line. 2 free throws for Benji Judd, and he makes them both. Back to 7. And that ball right off the noggin of Peterson, turned over. Johnson able to get it across the timeline as the clock now down to 12 seconds left. Back out to Bailey. And they will foul Brendan Bailey with 8.7. Bailey at the line, 2 of 2. He's had a solid fourth quarter, as has Johnson. As Brown over to Kuhn, extra pass. Childs for 3 at the horn, it won't matter. The American Fork Cavemen defend their home floor with a 64-55 victory over the Vikings. American Fork hosting Pleasant Grove, and a big game down here in Region 4. Is this region so difficult from top to bottom? These teams still juxting for final playoff positioning, and coming into tonight's game, American Fork sat in second place in region, 2 games out of first behind Lone Peak, while the Pleasant Grove Vikings were just 1 game behind American Fork, sitting there in number 3. But this is a team that has not yet secured a playoff berth in Region 4. A lot on the line tonight for the Vikings. First quarter, and it was a good start early for Pleasant Grove as we saw David Peterson hit a nice 3-pointer. Wellman came to play early, and Dolman got the scoring done for Pleasant Grove early. They had an early lead, though American Fork would come back strong late in that first quarter behind Spencer Johnson. He would have 6 points in the first quarter, would help American Fork take an 11-7 lead after the first. To the second quarter we go, and Brendan Bailey decided to show up, and show up big. Brendan Bailey scored the final 10 points of that second quarter for the Cavemen as they would enlarge that lead at the break, leading 26-21 heading into the locker rooms. Coming out of the half, and Brendan Bailey would pick up just like he left off the second quarter. Nice bucket early on, and then it would be Spencer Johnson, the future Wildcat, scoring 8 straight points for the Cavemen as they would enlarge that lead as we head to the fourth quarter. They led 38-33. Start of the fourth quarter, and the Cavemen trying to run Pleasant Grove off their floor. A 10-2 run to start the fourth quarter would make the lead 13 in favor of the Cavemen. Bailey hit a big 3-pointer during that stretch, and it looked like Pleasant Grove was going to come undone here on the road. But give a lot of credit to Coach McAllister and his squad. There's no give up in the Vikings. Been one of the reasons why they've been so tough and have hung in tough Region 4. You had Casey Brown, the freshman, with a couple nice takes to the hoop. You had a big 3-pointer by Keegan Kuhn, as well as the Pleasant Grove Vikings would whittle that lead all the way from 13 down to 5 with just a couple minutes left. But when all was said and done, it was the free throw shooting of American Fork. They made 15 free throws in the fourth quarter. Johnson made 6 of them. Bailey made 4 of them. And the free throw shooting, tough to come back when the other team is making free throws. They would put this one away. The final score here, 64-55. The Cavemen defeating Pleasant Grove on their home floor. In fact, this was the same score as the first meeting at Pleasant Grove earlier this year. So I think it's safe to say the Cavemen are 9 points better than Pleasant Grove. A couple 64-55 victories for Coach Meacham and his squad this season. With that, American Fork now has solidified a playoff berth. Congratulations. That was done before tonight. Still an outside shot at a number 1 seed, but most likely has solidified as a number 2 out of this tough Region 4 for Pleasant Grove. Boy, some tough games ahead. They've got Lone Peak, they've got Lehigh. Lehigh, a team that's trying to make the playoffs, doing everything they can. It might come down to that last game of the season for these Vikings who got off to such a strong start. Brody Childs had a nice game tonight. He led the team in scoring with 14, but when it all came done, the offense just wasn't there enough for Coach McAllister. Need to mention as well, Bailey finished with 25, Johnson finished with 22. The 1-2 punch for the Cavemen just knocked the lights out of Pleasant Grove tonight in the 64-55 victory. And now it's come time for us to award our player of the game. This is a tough one. We're going to go with Brendan Bailey, the future Marquette Golden Eagle. Had the strong second quarter, the strong fourth quarter, led the team in scoring with 25, did a nice job defensively as well. And that was really one of the aspects where this American Fork team got the better of Pleasant Grove. They found ways to shut down that offense, and a lot of credit going to Brendan Bailey, who helped lead the way. Congratulations to him on being our player of the game. Again, the Cavemen 64-55 victors over their Region 4 rivals, the Pleasant Grove Vikings. We want to thank you for joining us on this edition of High School Rewind. It's been our privilege to bring it to you. For Vince Francis, my name is Dane Stewart. We'll see you next time.